everyone, and welcome to the Brit and Yankee Pub. I'm the Brit Phil Clark, and this is another one of our instant brew reviews. The craft brewing industry is a close community, and one where friendships are made across many miles. One of these friendships is one that we've formed with a brewery down in Florida. And the benefit of this is that sometimes your brewing chums are going to send you care packages that contain samples of their beer. This is especially great when you can't get the beers in your own state, and this is the case here today. A couple of weeks ago, we hit the jackpot when one of our friends sent us a box of Barrel of Monks brews, Barrel of Monks being located in Boca Raton, Florida. Our friend is Mr. Kevin Abbott, who has a long pedigree in craft beer and is now the Director of Operations at Barrel of Monks. And we became friends in beer when we got together for a collaboration brew. And you can see that video out on our YouTube channel. And by the way, you can hear Kevin as co-host of United We Drink, his own industry beer podcast, which he does with brewer Mike Jurevitz. And that's available where all 5 podcasts are located. Right, enough of the banter. Let's get on with the sampling. And I'm going to do the first one. Why? Because I'm a big barley wine fan, and believe it or not, this is a barley wine, which is very unusual to come from a Belgian-style inspired brewery. Now, why did they produce this beer? Well, it's an experiment to expand out some of their styles, and also they released this on the 7th anniversary, and this is an English-style barley wine called Trip Sitter. Okay, let's crack this open and see what we can do. It's in a really trippy can, by the way, or rather the label is really very trippy, as you can see there. Got that. I have, in honor of the barley wine, in honor of the Belgian style, I have a St. Bernardus glass. So let's pour this out and see what it looks like. Now, barley wines are near and dear to my heart. We do a lot of barley wines in our annual Barley Wine Classic. This is poured out fantastically. It's got a beautiful dark golden color. In fact, it's really absolutely sunny looking, if you will. Got a beautiful look to it. The head has sat on the top here quite nicely. A little white on it. Beautiful kind of toffee sweetness, a little bit of caramel. Nothing too strong. A little bit of maltiness. Let's see how it tastes. First impressions are ones of a little sweetness, maybe some toffee. They do say that sometimes you might get something that's a little biscuity. I'm not getting that too much from this. Mouthfeel is absolutely fantastic. It's smooth, it's silky. And there's a kind of a slight stickiness to it, although that doesn't relate to too much sweetiness. Sweetiness? Is that a word? Anyway, it is now. It doesn't relate to too much sweetness. I'm getting... It's not dry. It's very smooth, as I said. This has a lot of layers to it that as it's warming up, I think you're going to find there will be more to this beer than we can describe right off the bat. I am very impressed with this beer because it's all that a barley wine really should be. There's no real big hop bitterness in it. Not really anything that I could pick out myself. Really nice what I like to call a golden warming maltiness coming from this. So this, I think, is an absolutely fantastic, straight up English style barley wine. I'd like to see this barrel aged. So Kevin, see if you got a couple of barrels hanging around. Anyway, trip setter clocks in at around 12%, I think. And as the can says, you chose wisely. That's right on the back here. So without any further ado, as you can tell, we here at the Brit and Yankee are fairly cock-a-hoop about the Barrel of Monks offerings. So let's see if some of our Illinois brewers are as well. And if you're watching this video, then you might be encouraged to visit the Barrel of Monks tap room, give their beers a try. Let's go with the first of our remote segments. Cheers. Yes, everybody, this is the first of our instant brew reviews that I told you about in my prologue. And I'm very happy to be down at Hopvine Brewing Company with the head brewer there, Mr. Ken McMullen. How you doing, Ken?
Excellent. Good to have you here, Phil.
Thank you. It's good to be back. I've been away on a vacation in the UK, went to Portugal, had some port wine, had some Portuguese craft beer, but I'm back here in the USA, and we're doing this series about the Barrel of Monks beers that Kevin Abbott, who is the Director of Operations, sent me down a care package, and I'm very glad that he did. Thank you very much, Kevin. So the first one that we're going to review is going to be something called Monk in the Park. There we go. That is in a can, and it is a dark strong ale. Now, there's a story behind this because they last brewed this in 2016 when they haven't brewed it until this year because the public demanded it. They said, we love it, brew it again. So they brewed a batch, and this time around they just happened to have a canning run, and so they put it in the cans instead of bottles. This is a beer that is 10.5%, I think. So we've got to be pretty careful on this one. Let's crack it open, and I can tell you a little bit more about it. What do you know about dark strong ales? Hang on, I'm just not going to overflow. Oh, there we go. Very good.
Well, we used to call them Belgian quads.
Ah!
I believe there's a brewery that makes a Belgian quad, and they consider it their name, I guess. So we can't officially use it anymore.
Well, that's it.
Belgian strong dark is what it's on.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'll give you a top up there. There we go. Because this was originally started out as a hybrid between their Imperial Stout and their Belgian-style quad, which, of course, now, the Imperial Stout has all the roastiness. The quad, of course, has all those fruity esters. So hopefully this beer, which has become a firm favorite with the folks down in Boca Raton at Barrel of Monks, those who frequent it, I hope it's still standing, by the way, after the hurricane. I haven't heard that it had any damage. So let's see if we can get down to sniffing this and see what its aromas are coming out like. Well,
Like raisin,
yep.
grapefruit.
It's immediately that real dark loveliness that comes from a Belgian dark strong ale. Shall we drink it?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Boy, the mouthfeel
That's really good.
is really, it's not medium, it's not thick, it's right heading over into the thickness. But
Yeah, you know what? It's pretty effervescent. It starts like a thicker, viscous mouthfeel, but it quickly dissipates and clears away. And it actually broke my tongue at first.
And I must admit, this has come out of my fridge, but it's been out for about 30 minutes, so it has warmed up a little bit. I think the tastes and the aromas and all the rest of it's going to get better as it gets warmer.
Yeah, this is nice.
It's pretty warm here in the brewery because you're having a brew day, aren't you?
I'm getting ready to brew. I'm heating water and using it to clean, but it is warm in here. It's like 74 degrees.
There you go.
It's like 58 and rainy outside, so it feels really warm.
I'm also feeling warm from this beer because I can feel it going down here, and there's definitely a booziness to the mouthfeel.
It's really nice.
Ooh,
Nice head.
it has.
sticking around.
You know, this type of beer, to me, has so much more flavor than an imperial style. But it's also one of those beers that I would probably down quicker than an imperial style. I don't know why. It's just, I think it's a little thinner. You know?
Yeah, the body of this is definitely, it's not like the real heavy big stout.
Right.
It's also not like a Clon. It's like a lighter stout.
Yep. Well, I hope they brew this again, although according to Kevin, he's not going to brew it again, certainly in 2023, which is great because I think that means that the brewery has a beer that people are asking for, and when it comes, it's going to sell out right away, and hopefully it will be something that people look forward to every couple of years.
Wow. This is really nice.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Fantastic. Well, that's a great one. Good start on our Barrel of Monks Instant Brew Reviews. I would say if you're down there in the Boca Raton area, head over there. I'm going to say that every time when we have one of the beers. Let's see who's next up for another Barrel of Monks beers. You're not. You're done. Go back to your brewing.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers. He's off now. Bye. Hello everybody, we're at our second tasting for the Barrel of Monks sampler, and with me is Ed Seaman, hello, and Mike Seaman, and we're at Broken Brix, which is a cidery, meadery, winery, and behind them, step aside, Mike, there we go, we've even got cherry cider that's fermenting.
Nice so test.
Fantastic. All right, come back in the picture, Mike. Today, we are sampling a Grand Cru from Barrel of Monks. It's their 2022 version. They only do this recipe once a year to do a Grand Cru. The recipe then is archived and they probably will never do it again. Would you show them the bottle there, please, Ben? Fantastic. I like Grand Crus. Now, Grand Crus, now you guys know a lot about, would you open that? Oh, well, of course. There we go. He's going to open that up. Grand Crus are basically the top beer, I think. What do you know about Grand Cru? At a Belgian beer fight?
Yeah, it's usually one of the stronger brews, and usually I guess St. Bernardus does a Grand Cru. Maybe it's their like best offering. I would say most people consider them the best beers.
One thing I've learned over the years, if you open a Belgian beer really quick, it might have a mess. So I took my time with that.
Well, you did that well. I tell you what, come and do a pour close up here so we can see how this comes out. Now, this is supposed to be, my hand is shaking. My goodness, too much coffee this morning.
Not enough
Well,
alcohol.
not enough. There we go. Look at that. What a perfect pour. And believe it or not, it's in the homebrew shop glass. I don't know if you can see that, but there we go. Beautiful beer, slightly cloudy. I'll have that one, yes, and then you can get another one.
Come on, Mike.
So not only are you able to do all this brewing of the fantastic ciders, wines, and all that other stuff, well, hello, he's poured this one out a little bit fast. Whoa! Well, all right, we'll let that one settle down a bit. You pull the next one. But you guys also are part. Let's step back just a little bit here because we're moving out of the picture. You guys are also involved in the Chicago Beer Society, so you do know what the heck you're talking about when it comes to beer. Now, there we go. You can figure that one out. Now, I have to leave a little bit of the glass because we do have another guest coming along later. He's not going to be on the show, but we've got to give him a song. All right, so, fantastic. Wow. My head has disappeared. Well, no, my head's still here. My head has disappeared down, as has indeed.
You still have a nice Belgian lace building up around the edge of the glass.
do.
It's recarbonating on the top, so that's a good sign.
Beautiful golden color. They say it's a little bit cloudy, which is fine.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's give it a sniff. Now, I have had a bit of a head cold. Tell you what, step back just a little bit, guys, so we can get in the picture. There we go. I have had a little bit of a head cold, so I'm probably 95% of my taste buds at the moment. What about the aroma?
I'm getting a little bit of stone fruit like apricot, pear.
Wow, it's a fruit bowl. And then tasting it.
Spicy, malty up front with a nice clean bitter finish.
Super effervescent.
Yes.
It is.
Very
Well,
Beers are almost Belgian, proper Belgian beers.
so what they really do at Barrel Monks is they try and brew something each year to test out the fruity esters in the Belgian yeasts, and they provide different things every year. This is a 2022 one. I think you could order them. If you're in a place where you can order beer by mail, you can order this. But otherwise, take a trip down to Boca Raton and try this out.
I'm also getting a little bit of pepper and spice.
Yes, I was thinking as well. It's almost bordering on a saison.
Exactly.
But I think the fruitiness
Brings it master.
takes it past that. Mike?
One of the best beers I've had in a long time.
Oh, wow. How about that? And you guys have lots of Belgian beers on tap.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we have Antioch, Sassan, and several bottle versions as well in the cooler for anybody's choice.
So, stop by Broken Brix because there's going to be some grain ciders coming out. And all I can say is, do we have a lot? Cheers.
Well, how about cheers?
Cheers. Yeah, cheers. We'll see you on the next segment.
Bye.
Here we are, the third segment for our Barrel of Monks sampler. And sitting next to me, this rather large chap here, is Mr. Greg Browne, who is the master brewer, head brewer. What have you changed your... I'm now director of something. Oh, he's director of brewing. I bet that's what it is. Anyway, over at Art History. And we're sitting outside here in the Art History patio area because it's an absolutely fantastically lovely day. Isn't it? A great day.
Unbelievable. For November 2nd, I haven't even beat this.
November the 2nd, can't beat it. But for a nice warm day, I think something refreshing is needed. So the beer that we have from Barrel of Monks is Nuance. It is a Saison, and it is bottle conditioned. So I think we've got to be a little bit careful in opening this. Do you want to do it, or shall I? Are you an expert at opening?
I'm not an expert.
All right.
Expert at drinking and brewing.
Right. Here we go. And hopefully we're going to do this. I have got this opener, which is not the best opener.
It's German. It's got to be good.
It's got Highinger on it. And I can't get the damn thing off. There we go.
Stay with us, everybody.
There we go. We're all right now. So there we go.
No cork at least.
No cork in this one. Now, do you know anything about Barrel of Monks, Greg?
No, I do not. Never heard of them.
They're down in Boca Raton. And if you listen to the beginning of this, you'll know exactly about. However, that's poured out rather nicely.
Great color. That's exactly the color I look for in a Saison, is that orangey.
Orangey look.
Yeah, of course. Sunrise.
You do know about Saisons.
Yeah.
Because, am I going to go over the top? No, I'm not. Look at that. Well
Perfect.
poured. You do know about Saisons because you do brew one or two. Yeah. Well, you brew Saisons, but you also add flavorings to it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Saison. Always been one of my favorite styles.
this one, as you say, is orangey. So tell us a little bit about what you look for in a beer like
Well,
this.
Saison, obviously, first thing is you want really good foam on a Saison because bottle conditions should have a good level of carbonation. So should have a good spritzy character for like any Belgian-style beer.
Is that a check mark on this box? I think so.
Look at that.
Right,
Look at that foam.
fantastic.
Look
Yeah,
at your foam.
Yeah, I know. I got more foam than you.
Yeah, so you're going to have a higher level of carbonation in a Saison and generally Belgian-style beers, which is why it's perfect that it's in the heavy bottle and it's also bottle conditioned. And then the color, again, that's just the perfect color for a Saison.
Let's give it a taste.
Give it a whiff first.
Shall we do it? Oh, give it a whiff first. I have a lot of trouble giving it a whiff because I've got so much head here and I can't get through it. So I should swirl it a lot of aroma in the foam. Should I? I'm always scared when I swirl that I'm going to swirl it over the top and lose some. So I think, oh yeah. Oh God, that's good. It just hits all the spots immediately. Now, I've had this in a refrigerator, and I brought it from the pub down here. It's warmed up a little bit. Do you think it's at the right temperature?
It could maybe be a touch colder.
Touch colder?
And it was bottled on July 19, so pretty fresh.
Oh yeah. And they're really known for their saisons and their Belgian-styles because they are a Belgian-inspired brewery down in Boca Raton. And but this one, you can get this on tap down there. And, you know, it's just an all-around great
For some
brew.
reason, I thought it was going to be barrel-aged because we said barrel of monks and that. For some reason, I thought it was going to be barrel-aged, but I guess that's just so that's just the name of the brewery is barrel.
That is just the name of the brewery, yeah. And it was put together by some friends who wanted to do Belgian brewing, and they just saw,
label.
well, Barrel of Monks. There we go.
Yeah, good label.
Good labels indeed. So what's your opinion of Barrel of Monks? Is this somebody you
this
might
is
like
good.
to do a collaboration with?
Well, never been to Florida. Never really had any desire to go, to be honest with you. But could be, you know, January in Chicago gets awfully cold. I can probably go to Florida.
There you go.
Tom pays for it.
Okay, Tom, you're paying for it. Right, another successful beer from Barrel of Monks, and this is all part of a campaign in which we're going to try and get them to distribute up here to Illinois. Instead of just sending me stuff, I want them to distribute up here because I think these are great beers.
Isn't Boca where all the old people live?
I thought Florida was where all the old people live.
Yeah.
The whole of it.
I might end up there pretty soon. Then.
Oh, there you go then. Well, cheers, Greg.
Cheers.
What a lovely sound.
Nice job, guys.
Yes, indeed. As always. Coming on to the next one. See you in a minute. Yeah. We've got quite a bit left here, haven't we? All right, we're at Riverlands Brewing Company in St. Charles, Illinois. With me, Mr. Eric Bramwell, who is head brewer, and what else are you?
We're the co-founders. Head brewer,
Co-founder. That's right. I knew it was something else.
Many of my titles.
And I came over here for our last beer instant brew review of this Barrel Monks sample because you said that Belgian quads were your favorite style.
They are. Favorite Belgian style.
Favorite Belgian.
Because I have to throw my disclaimer out there, and I always feel like I need to turn in my brewer's card when I say this. But Belgian beers typically are not my personal favorite cup of tea or whatever. But I do love Belgian quads. That is definitely my favorite Belgian style beer.
Good, because I've got one here today. But this one, I want to bring it forward. There we go. Is called Quad. I'm going to get this right. Quandrum. And it is a Belgian quad that is aged in a rum barrel. Now, I have to say I've had this before.
I have
but
not.
This is the 2022 one. So would you grab a couple of Riverland glasses? Now, this has a cork and carriage on it. I think that's called a cork and carriage, isn't it? Anyway, it's a little metal thing that you take that off. Now, hopefully this is not going to explode everywhere. I treated it very, very carefully. It is bottle conditioned, so it's likely to have some yeast on the bottom. So let's see if I can get the cork out of this. And, oh, it's coming. I can feel it. Here we go. I hope it's not going to be a gusher. Oh, beautiful. There we go. There's that little, I don't know if you can see a little steam on the top that comes off. What is that?
Probably just a little bit of CO2 being released out of it would be my guess.
Okay. Right. So we got our glasses. Let's do a pour here. Oh, now Belgian quads, I wondered if they were 4 times the ingredients. Single, triple, quad. Do you know?
I don't. We'd have to ask the monks.
Okay. Kevin, is that true? He'll tell us, I'm sure. So as we pour this out, it's out a beautiful, like dark mahogany, which is what I would expect.
And I mean, it looks
from
the
a quad.
part for sure.
It does look the part. We'll just put that in between us. And we're not getting a great deal ahead. I will say that this is 11%. So it's getting up there.
Yeah, and that can affect the way the head retention goes too.
Yep.
And the fact that it's barrel aged, kind of a little harder to get good lasting head perform up beers like this.
Now, you do a barrel age program. We do. Have you put anything into a rum barrel?
We have not. We've used, the only thing other than whiskey or bourbon that we've used was mezcal barrels. We
Okay.
did a sour that went into mezcal barrels.
Okay.
So rum would be a first for us, but we hope to do it at some time.
But you do know what rum smells like.
I am familiar.
Okay, good. He's had a couple, you know. Right, so let's see on the aroma here. Well, first off, I'd say, yes, it's rum. How about you?
Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely run forward, but it's got some oak too, which is kind of nice. It's not
Yes.
just totally spirit. There's definitely some wood character in the rum as well.
100% on that. So let's give it a nice little slurp. Now, what I would expect from a quad would be some like fruit notes.
Right. Kind of dark
Like
fruit,
dark,
raisin,
maybe
plum.
maybe a little toffee in there. What are you getting from this?
I am getting a lot of tropical rum that I think actually blends with that kind of dark fruit really, really well.
Mm-hmm. And it is not one that I would say it's 11%.
Yeah, it hides the booze well.
Does.
That like spicy caramely rum or almost like tropical fruit tasting, rum character that you associate with a lot of like tropical cocktails kind of comes through in this. And like I said, it plays with that dark fruit and those toffee notes really nicely.
And they do say that this is a beer that you can lay down for many years to come. I don't know how many years is. What do you reckon when you lay down a beer that you want to keep and see if it improves with age?
So I always say with most of our stuff, typically fresher is better, but I know people do like to sit on some barrel aged beer. If that's the case, I usually like to crack them open at a year or two. I don't think this beer is very hot at all. The spirit character and the oak aren't really aggressive or overly assertive like some barrel-aged beer that you want to maybe sit on and let it mellow out would be. So I wouldn't let this sit for too long, personally, if it was in my cellar.
Neither would I, and I haven't because I've opened it now. It was bottled in July, and we've opened it here. It's a very apropos because we're recording it the weekend after the Festival of Barrel-Aged Beers took place down in Chicago. You had an entry in that.
Yep, we had a couple in there.
And any medals?
Unfortunately, not this time. We're still
Okay,
working.
Get it next time. So I think very apropos that we finished this Barrel Monk sampler with a barrel-aged beer. Another excellent job. If you do like something with rum in it, especially Belgian-inspired beers, this is a great one to get. Unfortunately, they can't get them up here in the state. But again, this, as I stated before, this is my campaign to get him to bring the beers up here. Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Eric. Cheers.
Cheers.
And thanks to you guys down at Barrel of Monks. If you like this video and you haven't subscribed and you want to subscribe, there's a little thing down there in the corner, and you should be able to click on that. And you'll get more fun and games with me, the Brit, and the Brit and Yankee Craft Beer. What is it? Podcast. That's right. We're a video cast as well.
Right.
What the hell? It's having an effect on me.
Jack of all trades, right?
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Take care. Thank you, Eric.
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing the delicious beer.
My pleasure.